You're watching the 2022 Men's Under-21 World Lacrosse Championship on ESPN. From Limerick, Ireland, the first round gets going today of the championship bracket as Ireland 3-0 meets 1-2 Czech Republic. Hi everybody and welcome. I'm Ralph Bednarchi joining you from cold and windy Limerick, Ireland. Ireland 3-0, comfortable victories through pool play, and they feature an attackman named Aidan Dempsey who has been very steady and consistent, very good on and off the ball. He plays at Division III Ohio Northern. For the Czech Republic, they got their first win yesterday, courtesy of a big game from 19-year-old attackman Jan Fischer. 2 goals and 4 assists to defeat Israel. They're a box-based team, and they have a lot of slick stick skills. The Czech Republic and Ireland, who advances to face the Canadians in tomorrow's quarterfinals? We'll find out next on ESPN+. The Czech Republic and Ireland taking the field. Here's head coach Tom Pryor of Ireland. He has been involved in the Irish national team program since 2002, was their senior national team coach in 2010. He works as a physical education teacher in Yonkers, New York, and he played goalie under the legendary coach Keith Bugby at Springfield College in Massachusetts. And for the Czech Republic, there's Vladimir Manda. He coached the senior national team back in 2002 down in Australia, then took a long break off before coming back and becoming the senior national team coach in 2018 in Netanya, and now he's got the junior team for the Czech Republic. This matchup might be the most fascinating of this game. Finning and Daly facing off for Ireland, and the Czech Republic has an outstanding face-off guy, Jan Dobiasz, 20 years old, and he's considered probably the best face-off guy in the country. Face-off win, Martin Pech off the wing comes up with it, and we're underway with Danny Whitbourne, Cam McCulloch, Sven Kaiser, Grunde Ottnes, and Adrian Marcinkowski doing the honors today as our 5 officials. Ireland had the day off yesterday, while the Czech Republic were able to stifle Israel in an 11-4 victory to qualify here for the championship bracket of the medal round. Wing dodge for Martin Pech. It's Pech along with 72 Jan Hulesh, both from Prague. And Wojtek Vošmík, the first offensive midfield. Here's Pech, Jan Fischer, joining Thomas Knotek, and a lefty, Krzysztof Adamiec, on the attack. In goal is Joe Walsh, who plays collegiately in the U.S. at Colgate, in net for Ireland, as Ireland turns over the Czech Republic. And here comes a 5-on-3 the other way if they hurry. Down low comes Dempsey, across, and a goal. On the other end, there's Connor Foley, and Ireland scores in transition. Ireland never rushed this break. And Dempsey nicely to Foley. Connor Foley's from Walpole, Massachusetts, and he will be playing his senior year at UMass with 2 years of eligibility. Very good two-way midfielder. He's been playing attack in this tournament for Ireland, but he was UMass Lowell's leading scorer last year with 39 points. And he's had a big impact for Ireland here in the tournament. That's his 9th goal to go along with 5 assists. Daly against Dobiash. The hold against Daly, so Dobiash off to a good start, 2-0. And that bodes well for the Czech Republic. And talking to head coach of the Czechs in Vladimír Manda, the physicality of Ireland, very similar to what Puerto Rico has, that the Czech Republic struggled in their opening game, lost 12-6. Then they lost to Japan, 12-2 Japan. So disciplined and slide so well as a team. Jan Fischer. And Fischer has the defensive midi, Jack Galvin, on him. Takes it across. Not a great angle shot. Czech Republic keeps it. The low D for Ireland. Brady Moran with Matt Loftus and Patrick McKee. Moran plays at two-time defending national champion in Division III RIT. McKee plays at D3 Stevens Tech in Hoboken. Wojtek Vošmík. And a deep shot there, 15-yard look from Mateusz Tilzer. So Tilzer, more of a two-way midi for the Czech Republic. Vošmík. High pass that Fischer is able to bring down. A team offense stressed by the Czech Republic ahead of this game by Vladimír Manda because of the strength, the physicality, the experience of Ireland. And they have to find a way to move the ball very quickly. They don't have one overwhelming dodger. Lucas Kuchera, number 5, on the field for the first time. Second midfield for the Czech Republic, and they hit the pipe with the shot. Krzysztof Adamiec the look as that long rebound comes out, and Ireland with more transition, 4-on-3. Across it comes Foley, save is made. Josef Slavik, big stop here. 4.5 minutes in, and it might have felt very deflating for the Czechs to give up 2 transition goals after having the ball 95% of the time. So here's Mateusz Tilzer. Mateusz, great background story. He is also a referee. He became the youngest referee to ref a senior World Box Championship. That came 3 years ago as an 18-year-old. So someday his name might be on the graphics, not just for scoring goals, but as an official, talking to our guy, our stage manager down in the field in Mickey Byrne. Jan Hulesh was the intended target for the pass, 72 in red, and he gets some help from Simon Kuchera. And the Czech Republic scramble, and Ireland able to balance up defensively. And that's a deflected pass by Ireland. Czech Republic assistant coach, the great Pavel Dašlý. six-time senior national team member of the Czech Republic. First appearing in 1998 in Baltimore. He is still in great shape on the sideline. He hopes to play next year in 2023 in San Diego, which would be his 7th. Coming out in front with the shovel shot, and we're tied at 1. Nice quick first step to get across the face of the cage from Thomas Kanotek. His 6th of the tournament, and Kanotek evens things up. He's considered their leader offensively and has played the game perhaps longer than anybody else. Dad Miroslav Kanotek is an assistant coach and also the deputy mayor of the town of Radotín. And Radotín is like the birthplace of lacrosse, or maybe you could say the capital of lacrosse. There are some great box lacrosse facilities there. As Ireland in transition, and they dot the corner themselves. Transition tally, Sean Horkin. And the Irish back in front. So that's Jack Galvin with the dish. Ireland has the lead despite not having a set offensive possession. And Sean Horkin has been the riser recently for Ireland. He scored 4 goals and an assist in a blowout of Latvia. His older brother Liam is also on the team. The Horkins from Malden, Massachusetts. And Belmont Hill High School. He's a high school class of 2024 as the Czechs continue to get the job done in and outside the face-off X. The pickup by Andrej Strieblik. Back to the first midfield, and Wojtek Waszmik. Mentioning Radotín, and that's a small town. Prague would be considered certainly the birthplace and the capital of Czech lacrosse. And Radotín, you could probably say, would compare to being like the cathedral. Pavel Surch. And Surch fires with the left hand, too easy. Joe Walsh was begging for that shot. Another transition chance for Ireland. Here's Ronan Walsh. Or check that rather, Fionn Kinsella. That pass down to the crease, hit the post. And Dempsey picked it up, and to the doorstep it goes for Connor Foley. Well, this is uncanny, as Ireland has created chances unsettled so far. So Foley has added 2 more. His lineage traces back to nearby County Clare, grandfather from County Galway. As Ireland wins their first face-off, there's Michael Songer. Long pomidi for Ireland. That was the very last minute pickup for the Irish lacrosse roster, and they are so happy to have him. The Songers from Gaithersburg, Maryland. His older brother, Jack Songer, unfortunately done for the tournament with a knee injury. Michael Songer, class of 2023 out of St. John's College Prep in Washington, D.C. And the great Washington Catholic League, the WCAC. So first true offensive possession for the Irish. Aidan Dempsey with Connor Foley, Sean Horkin on the attack, Sean Loftus with Jack Doherty, Kevin Somerville, the first midfield. Josef Slavik in goal for the Czechs. He's their lone goalie here in Ireland. He's made 23 saves. And the Czechs have some big defensemen. 18-year-old Jakub Adamiec, a lefty defenseman. Inside Slavic. Somehow he found the ball. Not sure what happened. He seemed to look around. And Slavic will take it here to the corner. Slavic with Jan Polak and Victor Blaha, the close D. And we'll see Jakub Plechsmid as the pole. Jan Hulesh. So for the Czechs, this has been a head-scratcher of a first quarter. All the possession of the world. Good shots, including one that rebounded so far to midfield that it led to a goal on the other end. The winner to the quarterfinals against Canada. It's Simon Kuchera, flag out now against the Irish. And we'll see on the man up. So this is going to be a 1-minute slash against Sean Loftus. Check that, cross-check is the call against Loftus, who is a student at the University of Tennessee now, playing club lacrosse. Very involved in his new fraternity, doing community service. And he and his brother, Matt Loftus, both from McLean, Virginia, on the Ireland roster. Man up for the Czech Republic. Adamiec's pass, knocked down, and Michael Songer comes up with it. Songer ahead. A hit put on by the Czechs to try to dislodge the ball. It does not bother Ireland and Jack Galvin. Galvin, Foley, he hits the pipe. Czechs still man up for some time. Slavic locates Jan Fischer. We are all even, but a flag is down. Ireland may be offside. It'll be a slash 1 minute on Aiden Dempsey. That skip pass, that almost hit his own teammate, and that's out of bounds. Poor spacing from the Czech Republic. That was a shot from Pavel Surk that looked like it was going to find the corner, and he might have grazed his own teammate cutting through in Thomas Konotek. So the Czechs manage one shot, Ireland the clear, and the Czechs won't press out, and they'll be 0 for 2. A pair of 1 minute man ups that they come away with nothing. All even as Ireland looks to add to this 3-1 lead. Lefty shot by Kevin Somerville. Good trail check. Next feed coming through, intended target for Foley. Slavic has it, and that's it for the first quarter. 2 transition goals from Ireland gets them started. Foley and Sean Horkin. Connor Foley would add a second. It's 3-1 Ireland after 15 minutes of play from Limerick. We're coming back to the Under-21 Men's World Lacrosse Championship on ESPN+.
that lead the entire second half. Beautiful shot again.
Just happy to be a part of it right now for all the younger generations and hopefully pave the way for them so little girls younger than me can become Olympians.
Ireland leads Czech Republic 3-1 in an action-packed first quarter. Czech Republic 0 for 2 on men up. Shots 7 apiece. Jan Dobiash 3 out of the first 5 face-offs against Finnegan Daly in company of Ireland. This time Ireland will put up a pole and Michael Songer to face off. Songer, 7 in white, reaches for it. Galvin, the D-mini, in position. And this scoop from Dobiash missed. And Ireland comes away with it. So Fionn Kinsella eventually has the contested ground ball. Talking to the Ireland coaching staff, this team has been together so little. They got together last weekend at UCD, University College of Dublin. Strange name. This time in front. That hit the pipe by Dempsey, and the long rebound, Somerville has it. They played 3 30-minute mini scrimmages upon arriving here, including one against the Canadians, along with China and Hong Kong China, as Dempsey shoots a bouncer over the top. They lost 5 players from their original 2020 roster. And unfortunately, no homegrown players on this version of Ireland. But half of their roster in 2019 in the inaugural Under-20 European Championships was from Ireland, including their starting goalie. Now they're hoping to reignite the passion and the foundation of lacrosse at the youth level here. After 2.5 years of the pandemic, particularly did a number on youth sports in this country. Timeout Ireland and Tom Pryor. So Connor Foley has added 2 more. So Ireland and Tom Pryor have him playing predominantly in the attack. So his quickness and dodging ability there, as you look at his game, 20-1 against Latvia, 3 goals and 4 assists. Then this jump shot there, Ireland had their way with the Latvians. Then off of a scramble on a failed clear, he picks it up and comes out in front. And the progression for Ireland over their 3 games has been there. They pulled away late from Germany, 12-5 on their opener, and then held off Jamaica 9-5. Jamaica has shown that they have, just in the last game, they lost 10-8 to Japan. They blew a 7-3 lead. But talking to coaching staff, Tom Pryor, along with assistant coach Peter Dolan, that this has been about taking significant steps forward with each passing game because they have so little experience playing together under their belts relative to the other countries. This skip pass comes through, and that's a good look for Jack Doherty. Doherty joined the team for their tryouts in Rockland County, New York in June. Played 11 games this year at Skidmore, and he is out of Chaminade High School that will forever be connected to this Ireland program. Dempsey denied. Slavic was expecting the shot in that location. So the Czechs get the stop, and Tobias Petrak, lefty midfielder, tight ropes the sideline, and he's got the clear. Jan Kulesh down to the crease. The heavy box lacrosse presence of the Czech Republic, and Pavel Daschle and the coaching staff have talked about how so different it is. And a goal on the shot from the outside. That's Hulesh, 3-2. Hulesh got a firm screen set for himself, and he is a quintessential box player. Heavy, heavy left-handed, probably 99%. But he's one of the most athletic players, and Pavel Daschle, who's very fit himself, has complimented him on how fit he is to play the field game. And while it is lacrosse, offensively, Pavel talks about how they have their box stick skills, but it's a different feel to the game. And there's also a shot clock at every level of box. Czech Republic crossed the restraining line. Ireland has it, up 3-2. And they've had to kind of coach the idea of not taking the super quick shot every time. There's no 30-second shot clock here. There is none. So you can afford to be very patient and have to value great looks. Ireland brings in Ronan Walsh to go with Loftus. And also Ben Collins, the only player from Ireland that is not from the United States. Ben is from Manchester in England, but he has played for Irish club teams. Collins gave it up, good look. That's wide from Sean Horkin. Czech Republic switching D-middies here off the end line, and they're gonna escape with that change. As Horkin could not bring it in cleanly, and the Czechs swarm him. That's aggressive defense by Jan Polak, a co-captain and perhaps the overall leader of this Czech team. So Jakub Plechschmidt. Slavik, his pass carries through, up with it is Walsh. Failed clear for the Czechs. And Ireland with Foley. Loftus. Dempsey steps into the high crease area, save Slavik. Good look for Ireland. The Czech Republic with 15 players back off of their 2019 squad at the European Under-20 Championships, where they defeated Ireland in that tournament for third place 4-2 after losing to Ireland 9-5 in pool play. Shot blocked, Hulesh the shooter. Hulesh gets it back. And of course, none of those players from Ireland are on this roster. So just a footnote. Pavel Surk. Surk and into the high slot area. How about that catch and turn from Krzysztof Adamiec? The Czechs have tied the score at 3. Nice little slip pass. And Adamiec able to get a lot behind that shot.
Assisted by Pavel Surk. To tie up the game, 3-3 with 6 minutes and 38 seconds left in the second quarter.
Adamiec, the youngest member of the Czechs, 16 years old. His older brother is the 18-year-old defenseman Jakub Adamiec. Will get procedure called, and this is against Dobiash. Somerville took the flip pass. Dempsey fires, scores. Just enough of a brush screen to free up his hands. Ireland back in front.
With a score for Ireland, to put them 1-up over Czech Republic, 4-3. 5 minutes.
Now, Aiden Dempsey has shown, talking to the coaching staff, he has a real talent of being about we rather than me. But he happens to take excellent shots within the flow of the offense. At Ohio Northern this year in the spring, 21 goals, 7 assists. He's from the DC area and St. John's College Prep. He and Jack Songer, the injured attackman, high school teammates there. Adamiec stood up there by Pat McKee. Throwback, room and time, and a handcuff shot. The Irish defense getting in on the hands of the Czech shooter.
Joe Walsh with the save for Ireland.
Loftus fell out of his stick. He is tied up by the tall Adam Kuchera. But Ireland scrambles and gets it back. The work from Ronan Walsh. Foley to the stick of Dempsey. Foley has the cutter. That's in the lap of Slavic. Sean Loftus, the shooter. He is in the crease. Slavic, well, so interesting with this second generation of lacrosse players now in the Czech Republic that assistant Pavel Dashli has been able to see grow up as this pass carries through. Slavik, probably considered the best goalie now in the country as well. He'll have a chance to make the senior national team for next year's championship, which will take place in San Diego.
13 seconds left in the second quarter.
Timeout, Czech Republic.
Ireland still leads 4-3.
They've had some issues in the clear, but they've gotten good looks. Let's show you their goals here for the Czech Republic. Lucas Kuchera has got 3 goals. He plays on the senior national box team. The Kuchera brothers on the team. And here was one of his 3 goals. And he's yet another talented lefty that they use predominantly at midfield. They love to dodge him. 2 goals there against Japan for Lucas Kuchera, along with brother Simon Kuchera. Simon is more of a short stick D-midi. Adam Kuchera is a tall defenseman that is not related to Adam. Adam is not related to Simon and Lucas. Czech Republic, over the last year, practiced twice a week in Radotín. And they practice very often with the Czech senior national team too, as that was leading up into the European qualifiers, the Euros, which was hosted this year in Wrocław, Poland in April, after being pushed from 2020, unfortunately, all the way into April. And then they've been practicing by themselves since April, twice a week. So a team that's been together as much as anybody, you could probably make the argument more than anybody else in this tournament. England has spent a ton of time together. If you add up all the practices, Czech Republic, a small country, and lacrosse, while huge in the country, especially has a high volume in and around Prague. Feet to the cutting Hulesh, and Ireland deflects it. Jack Galvin looks for the clear. Galvin races ahead. And a timeout by Ireland. So they'll save the timeout. Certainly we know it's not a water break, with temperatures listed 64 degrees at face-off, and the weather has radically changed. Everybody here around the campus of the University of Limerick just talking about how hot it's been, with Ireland seeing heat up to about 87 degrees, something they're just not used to even in the summer. But now it is cold and windy, and looks like it's going to stay that way, with some rain perhaps even expected to close out the week. It's 4-3 Ireland. Aiden Dempsey, a goal and 2 assists in this game. And this was his shot, just able to get around the defender who trailed just a bit. That's enough to free up Aiden Dempsey. And his efficiency has carried over through the tournament. In 2009, the Irish Lacrosse League was established, and they had participating teams in and around Dublin, a Galway team, a Belfast team located in Northern Ireland, of course, but they're starting a total rebuild here. Hurling is a big sport in Ireland, all with soccer and rugby. And Limerick here, they are, I believe, the 3-time defending hurling champions in the country, and they have an an awesome stadium here in town. It very much looks like a soccer stadium. Faking the flip pass. Down it comes to Foley. Nice design there by Ireland coming out of the timeout. Liam Horkin with the feed. The fake flip pass, just putting the Czech Republic on skates defensively.
To put Ireland up by 2, 5-3. Ireland's winning with 30.6 seconds left in the first half.
As Michael Songer faces off,
Holding called on Ireland.
and he gets called for the hold. Dobiash the win. And now Czech Republic will spend the timeout. So Vladimir Manda get his team together with short time. Official time is kept on the field by our referee. And the Czech Republic, this is perhaps a much more comfortable setting. Short time out of a timeout, similar to the box game. And Vladimir Manda knows that this is right up their alley. And there is Vladimir. He picked up his first lacrosse stick back in 1986. And they noticed kind of the original wooden stick heads. They saw a picture of it. Essentially, can't recall the name of the game. It's kind of like lacrosse, but a much shorter shaft where you kind of throw the ball around with one hand. That was kind of his first exposure to it. Then they realized, okay, there's a longer version of that stick. In Sweden, there's a similar game called bandy. That's kind of a combination of lacrosse and hockey. And eventually in 1986, Vladimir Manda was one of the first people that started to play box lacrosse in the Czech Republic. And rising up to be the senior national team coach in 2002. And then coming back to the position in 2018. Jan Hulesh. Kuchera, Hulesh, 10 seconds left. First half, 5 to go. Adamiec to the crease, tough angle, side pipe or netting, and time will expire. So the Czech Republic waiting a little too long there. They're held to one difficult shot. After they timed the score up at 3, Dempsey and Foley have put Ireland back in front. We've reached halftime in Limerick. A first-round matchup from the championship bracket here of the men's under-21 World Lacrosse Championship. We're back to show you all of our highlights and statistics.
It's coming. The world is coming to San Diego. 30 nations, 30 teams. Only one will be crowned world champion. There's nothing like playing for your country. This is the pinnacle of sport. Be here as legacies are forged and history is made.
(5-3) Ireland. This is a good one. The Czech Republic early on out shooting Ireland. I'll show you how it's gone back and forth. Transition was the early story for Ireland. Aiden Dempsey finding Connor Foley after the Czechs had a very long first possession. Watch this nice shovel shot off the speed dodge Thomas Kanotek. Tied at 1, Sean Harkin. Jack Galvin on the push. Bit of a scramble just after transition. Foley 3-1 after 1 Ireland. Jan Hulesh, little brush screen at 3-2. As this one eventually ends up with Foley off the fake flip pass. Liam Horkin assisting. 5-3 is our halftime score. Back to show you halftime numbers from Limerick.
Fasten your seatbelt.
The game you've always loved just found a new gear.
Introducing World Lacrosse Sixes.
It's speed and scoring,
Tempo and transition.
athleticism and action.
It's big-time energy packed onto a smaller playing surface.
It's the game you've always loved, brought to you at warp speed.
It's lacrosse on the Autobahn.
Don't blink. This is World Lacrosse Sixes.
And back to show you our halftime stats. Notable is the face-offs with the Czech Republic, 6 of 10. And with Jan Dobiaš and his reputation that is starting to build, it would appear the Czech Republic is going to be able to keep pace with Ireland. Question is, can they prevent some of the turnovers they've had, 7, which have led directly to 2 goals for Ireland. Otherwise, the Czech Republic has done pretty well defensively, 6 on 6. Should be one that goes down to the wire. Winner to take on Canada tomorrow. Ireland leads the Czech Republic 5-3 in this first round matchup of the men's under-21 World Lacrosse Championship bracket. Top 12 teams advanced. The automatic berths from the 5 teams in Pool A. And then teams out of Pool B and Pool C.
Ireland wins the first face-off of the second half.
So Finnegan Daly able to draw it back to Jack Galvin, underway for the third quarter. This time the flip pass is made. Liam Horkin. The Czechs defended well. Loftus the throwback. Somerville, big, hard-charging Dodger, did not turn and shoot with the left. Ball on the ground. Foley tried to perhaps shovel it. Flag out now, just as the Czech Republic came up with possession. Unnecessary roughness for a minute against the Czech Republic. That's Adam Kuchera, who's known for his physicality. A late hit there. Ireland man up for the first time. Dempsey fires over the defender's head. Again, you never feel like he forces a shot.
Put them up 6-3 with 12 minutes and 40 seconds left in the third quarter.
2 more today for Aiden Dempsey. The Czechs allow Dobiash to, in essence, face off 1 against 3, but he comes up with the ball. So we're all even, but Ireland with its largest lead. Martin Peck. Face dodge from Jan Fischer. Walsh up with it. Walsh on the end line. With a tough play on the loose ball. Pat McKee shields off the attackman, Kanotek, and Ireland comes up with the stop. Now shots have been tougher to come by now for the Czech Republic. 8 turnovers now. Couple in the clear, then the settle situations. First 3 or so possessions for the Czech Republic. things were flowing pretty smoothly. That cross-field pass short of the defender in Franciszek Jelikovski. So here's another failed clear. Dempsey right in front. Someone lost Sean Horkin.
Dempsey with the assist and Sean Horkin with the goal for Ireland. To put them up 7-3 over the Czech Republic with 9
So he's added a 2-goal game. Was originally slated to be an alternate. The Horkin brothers both came up playing for the New Hampshire Tomahawks, the club circuits. And Sean spent a good chunk of his season at a very good high school, Belmont Hill, playing on the JV. Now this summer playing for Ireland at the U21s. Fisher off the stick fake, then tried to lower his head and dodge hard. But Ireland big and physical at the 3 close D spots. Mateusz Tilser looking to feed. Ground ball Ireland, Matt Loftus. As he went down and climbed over a Czech player. Adamiec, inside crease roll, shut down. Adamiec re-dodges, took a hit from Sanger. Now a deep shot by Hulesh, no chance on that. So the Czechs impatient on that sequence. Jack Galvin, 4-on-3 again. Horkin looked inside for Foley, and Foley had stopped the cut.
Ball out of bounds. Possession to the Czech Republic.
The throwback came. Peck was thinking about the 15-yarder. And perhaps fortunate for him that he dropped the pass. Nice work there by Braden Morin. Fisher, and the Czechs searching for a matchup that fits them. And Fisher tied up. He's called for warding off. Jack Galvin stepped in again. More transition. Horkin settles. The shot blocked. Foley. Pestered well by Simon Kuchera. As he fakes the pass, pushed forward, nice slip pass, stop made, Slavic. Could be an important one. He stops Ben Collins. As the loose ball eventually pops in the air where Slavic controls it and outlets ahead. The Czech Republic has not gotten anything in transition today. Simon Kuchera, across it comes, and that's a pipe hit by the Czech Republic. Mateusz Tilser inside. Off the whistle, Tobias Petrak backs up. And off the end line, Tilser. Shovels the pass in front. And you're seeing some of the box elements that these young Czech players are so used to. Hulesh, they know he's a lefty, goes with a righty shovel shot, and nowhere close. So the Czechs pressing a bit in this third quarter. This was a 3-all game midway through the second. And Ireland, again with numbers. Dempsey, point man Foley. Jump shot could not be made by Ronan Walsh. Winner of this game guaranteed a spot in the top 8. Horkin, save made, Slavic. Well, he's been impressive. He had a very good performance in Hanover, Germany. He was the backup goalie on the Czech Republic senior national indoor team that finished 3rd at the European Championship. So he got in some games there. He's made 8 stops. Jan Fischer. Down to the crease, and it could not be brought in by Pavel Sur. Pick up Adamets. Walsh at a goal. And another turnover by the Czech Republic. Well, a series of turnover shots, then actual turnovers. And they have been shut out for about 25 minutes of lacrosse. Horkin, the return to Foley. Ireland may have forced it there. In control late in this third quarter. Can the Czechs get a goal here and perhaps change the feeling in the huddle between quarters? Pavel Sur. Kuchera frees himself from the defender. Adamets. Oh, tic-tac-toe. A glimpse of the skills that these young Czech players have. Adamets for Thomas Kanotek. 7-4.
Tomáš Kanotek with the assist. Christoph Adamets with the goal. There's 8 seconds left in the third quarter. Ireland still leads 7-4. Excuse me, Christoph Adamit had the goal and Tomas Norek had the assist.
Daly, face-off win, one more look. And a big block shot in the final horn by Jan Polak.
That will be the end of the third quarter. Ireland leads 7-4.
So perhaps the decision by Ireland not to wait for the final shot of the third. We'll see if it comes back to haunt them. It's 7-4 at the end of 3 quarters. Winner off to the quarterfinals. Well, they will be guaranteed to finish no worse than 8th. Back for the 4th from Limerick.
Have you booked that trip to Ireland yet?
Press the green button and visit the island of Ireland. See Ireland.com.
The Czech Republic snapping a stretch of 23 minutes of scoreless lacrosse, and it's a 7-4 game as we begin the 4th quarter. Winner to face Canada in a quarterfinal tomorrow at 1 p.m. local time here in Limerick. Dobiash, the face-off win. So that's now 9 out of 15 for him. Shots are 21-16 Ireland. And the biggest number is 11 turnovers by the Czech Republic, and the 16 shots that they have, the quality has deteriorated. Well, perhaps the no-tech goal will get them a lot more confidence, and they're still very much within striking distance. Plus, with Dobiash in there, they can string together some face-off wins. as Lucas Kuchera works against Jack Galvin, who's had a fine game as a D-midi. And that is a very nice interception by Fionn Kinsella. He anticipated. Here comes Brady Morin. Got it to the wing for Dempsey. Across Foley. Transition has been the story today for Ireland.
Dempsey with the assist. Connor Foley with the goal for Ireland. To put them up 8-4 over the Czech Republic.
Credit Fionn Kinsella from Annapolis, Maryland, and he'll be a high school senior at the Severn School in Maryland. A commitment to Division III Gettysburg that joined the team also for the June 22 tryout. And fitting in, playing some second midfield, mostly D-mid. Dobiash, face-off win, and split back to Slavic. So you can, out of the 8 goals that Ireland has scored, you can label 4 of them as transition, and then a 5th one would be very soon after, kind of secondary break. So that's turnovers and not finishing for the Czechs that have led to that. It is Walsh who saw where the pass was coming, and that's the goalie ranging over to intercept. Somerville went through the fake. It is Foley with the ball. Dempsey in front, shot missed. Sean Horkin had a layup. And a last-second stick check by the Czech Republic keeps us at 8-4 Ireland with 11 minutes remaining. And this pass is short. Dempsey, the pickup. At his stick, checked out of his hands. Nice hard check by Jan Polak. The Czechs stay on side. Knotek was more active as an initiator in the first quarter. This is Kuchera behind. And there is number 21, Thomas Knotek. He'll call the signals, then takes the shot. That's a good save by Walsh. And the Czechs have been waiting for a while for someone to dodge and get a good look. Kinsella. Pass completed to Brady Morin. Dempsey, rather that's Liam Horkin, Sean Horkin. And back up to the Czech Republic. Jan Fischer, checked away by Foley, who did not give up on the ride. He stayed with Fischer right until the midfield line. And that's just gritty work to see things through. Ireland with possession again, up 4. Now coming out in front of the sneak is Dempsey. And Ireland inching closer to hosting Canada on home soil tomorrow.
Ireland assisted by Jack Doherty. Puts Ireland up 9-4 over Czech Republic. Timeout, Czech Republic.
Jack Doherty made the pass. 3 more for Aiden Dempsey. And for Ireland, one real pleasant surprise in all the work that has been done behind the scenes with the president of the Irish Lacrosse Federation, Ireland Lacrosse here, Michael Kennedy, the CEO, who has done an ungodly amount of work behind the scenes to make this tournament happen. The idea was born sometime in 2007 for Ireland to host an under-19 championship at that time. And the conversations and the exploration continued, eventually led to a bid finally being finalized and put together in 2015. And then Ireland learned in 2016 that they'd be getting the 2020s. Then, of course, the pandemic occurs. 2020 canceled, postponed to 2021. They continue to put in work, having to restart everything, dealing with restrictions. Are we allowed? Should we continue with this? 2021 is placed on the calendar, postponed a second time. Same script. Should we be doing this? Are we going to be able to get here? Should maybe World Lacrosse move it elsewhere? Less restrictions. How do we handle it? And Ireland was able to see it through. And we are here. They did a lot of advertising in and around the Limerick area. As you walk around the downtown, there are posters, and you can see that there is a lacrosse tournament taking place, not just from the people walking around, but the signs that are up, and you randomly listen to the radio, and there are advertisements. And there's been a pleasant surprise of casual fans that have come out to support Ireland in a sport. This is a great hurling area, as I said. Of course, rugby is huge, but people just want to support Ireland. And they've noticed that. They've maybe heard of lacrosse casually, and now they're seeing it in the person, and they hope that this will be a springboard to a much greater presence for the sport in the country. Czech Republic with Jan Fischer having possession. Jan spent last year as a high school exchange student in the United States, in Pennsylvania. Knotek, stop made, the shot by Walsh. As Fischer resets, unfortunately, that high school team, one of the few in Pennsylvania probably, Walsh makes the save again on Knotek. One of the few that did not offer high school lacrosse, so Jan Fischer played varsity basketball instead. As he was focusing there on academics and learning English better. Well, a whistle, the fourth official signaling. I think they are picking up a flag, I think, to wave off offsides against Ireland. So Ireland will keep it. Foley frees himself. To the crease it comes. Horkin. Sean Horkin, 2 great looks in this 4th quarter. And Tom Pryor will call a timeout here with under 6 minutes left. And perhaps will stress patience. He may not need any more goals to win this one. And he may just decide to focus on clock and get out of here with a victory to seal this. And for Ireland, they spent the summer here in Limerick. Most of these players, that was where their final cut-down training camp was. They invited 30 players to try to cut it down to 20 with a couple of alternates at that point, and the roster looked pretty good. And they were expecting about 4 or so homegrown players. They held and held those spots, but unfortunately, no one really rose to the occasion. Prior to the pandemic, there was probably in the vicinity of 75 kids playing lacrosse. There was some groundwork laid, and that's about 2 classes of kids that in effect stopped. And then you also have to account for the players that did not start playing lacrosse either. So that's a big one. And it's been a long process with Tom and the late great Richie Moran, who passed away this spring, that they went to different parts of the country doing clinics, and they have plans to do that again once they get past this tournament. Out of the timeout, and Ireland takes the look. That's wide. Dempsey, the shooter. Foley. I'm taking a slash on the wrist. No call. Ireland keeps it. And Foley skips it across, looking for Liam Horkin out of bounds. So 5 minutes left for the Czech Republic. They have Dobiash in the face-off X. He's won probably at about a 60% clip, but this is not going to help. And that's kind of a microcosm of the Czech Republic's day. Pass short-hopping Victor Blaha, and Ireland will have it back, and they'll chew away some more time. Loftus swinging it, Dempsey for another, and Slavic the save. So down to 4 minutes to go. Czech Republic also staying nearby, but they have not been walking around as much as the other teams, nor to the dining hall, and I promise you they have been eating. That's because they have had the luxury of having their own chef here with them. Shots 27-19 now. Great credit goes to Ivan Surk, the dad of Pavel Surk, who is a professional chef for a police department. And he has cooked every meal, and they've actually saved a ton of money by shopping for groceries here and making very healthy foods. I'm told Sicilian pork after a game was a big fan. No word on what the post-game meal will be here for the Czechs, but how cool is that to have your own chef with the team, and maybe something for other countries to consider if it works out locally. Timeout Czech Republic, 3:27 left. We were tied at 3 midway through the second quarter, and it looked like the Czechs were going to be able to push this game deep into the fourth quarter and stay right with Ireland. But they've had many offensive possessions that have stalled out. And the turnovers have piled up, and then credit Ireland's defense. They have done a better job against the Czechs one-on-one defensively. They have not allowed any breakdowns. You look at the goal that was scored by Kanotek. It took a great goal for the Czech Republic to snap 23 minutes of scoreless lacrosse. Jan Hulesh. Kanotek nearly turned the corner, not much of an angle. Czech Republic closest to it. So the Czechs showing some urgency. Adamiet's skip pass sails on him. Dempsey was there. It's an over and back anyway. 2.5 left. Well, for the Irish, as they are 2 minutes away from facing Canada tomorrow, with a good chunk of the Ireland roster playing collegiate lacrosse, and the high schoolers that they have clearly look ticketed to play there too, at some level. So they know all about some of the big names that the Canadians have, the name brand programs that they represent at the college level. The Pool A teams have had good crowds here from the other nations watching them. Transition, Adamiet's right into the stick of Walsh. Walsh has added frustration to the Czech Republic. And he will need a grade A+ game tomorrow against Canada. This pass sails through. Ireland again picks it up. Kinsella here for Foley. So a pair of quarterfinals are set. It'll be Japan and Australia, and a pretty interesting game with the Australians having 3 significant injuries right now. And then Canada against the host country, Ireland. And we'll see if the Irish can win just enough face-offs to keep it interesting through the first quarter and build from there. Ireland pulls away. Their transition leads them to a victory in the first round of the championship bracket. They hold the Czech Republic to 1 goal in the second half. 9-4 is the final. Ireland remains unbeaten here in Limerick. They move to 4-0. The Czech Republic off to the losers bracket of the championship bracket, and they will take on Jamaica next. Connor Foley again shining for Ireland, playing on that left side. On the right side, Aiden Dempsey, terrific. Dempsey with 3 goals and 5 assists. Connor Foley pumping in 4. Jack Galvin and D. Mitty, excellent. And Ireland pulls away from the Czechs. 9-4 is our final. For our director, Mikey O'Sullivan, here from Limerick. As Krzysztof Adamец with that goal. And this, a slick pass from Adamец, then went over to Thomas Konotek. That would make it 7-4. And that's as close as the Czechs would come. Final numbers, 27-21 in shots, but the 16 turnovers by the Czech Republic, critical, and that nullifies the face-off advantage they had from Jan Dobiasz. And that's it. Next game coming up, 3rd out of 4 games you can watch here on ESPN+. As a Pool A team will take the field, England and Israel. That's coming up 4 o'clock local time. My name is Ralph Bnorchik saying so long, and I'll talk to you then on ESPN+.